Hi, I'm Mike, and it's time for this week's motorcycle news. At the end of the last week, Buell Motorcycles released a press announcement saying they're back. They're back in production. So, according to the press release, they're going to release 10 new models by the year 2024. I did a whole video on this, and if you want to know what I think about that, there'll be a link to it in the description below. But the more I think about this situation, the more I begin to wonder if the new owner, which is the same company that was brought in to liquidate the assets when Eric Buell Racing went defunct, might not just be trying to draw some attention and news to see if he can get some new investors or perhaps a potential buyer for the whole brand. What do you think about that? I think it's going to take more than just buying a brand name of a motorcycle company to attract customers in the masses. On Monday, Harley-Davidson launched the Pan America.
I thought, the last couple of days, just the more I rode it, the smaller and smaller the bike became.
It does.
It just feels lighter and more agile, and you just gain confidence because it's very forgiving. Ride modes just compensate, make you feel like you're a much better rider than you are.
It's a very sleek bike. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's the first adventure touring bike made in America.
It is.
I was extremely excited after seeing the specifications and features and the pricing that Harley-Davidson announced. If you want to know more about that, I did a full video on that as well. But the feedback I've seen online and from most people has been positive. Most everyone feels that this bike can be a success for Harley-Davidson, assuming the bike performs as well in person as it looks in the launch video and as it looks on paper. I think the dealer network could really give Harley an advantage here in the United States over European brands like BMW. The bike is supposed to be available in May, and I, for one, am looking forward to taking it for a test ride. Well, KTM did not want Harley-Davidson to have all the thunder in the adventure motorcycle world this week, so they announced the 2021 1290 Super Adventure R. I've not got to look at the specs on this motorcycle and compare them to the Pan America yet, but KTM claims this is the best 1290 Super Adventure R that they have made yet. And I don't doubt them. They did make some improvements to the design.
My impressions on the KTM 1290 Super Adventure R so far, it's that same awesome LC8 V-twin engine. Huge amounts of torque, huge amounts of power, amazing engine to ride. But it's housed in a better chassis and a better package that makes the bike easier to ride, more stability, more agility. When we get into the difficult stuff, when we get into the really tight, Nadgery terrain, windy roads, windy trails, quick direction changes, that agility really comes into play, and that's that low center of gravity.
We don't have pricing here in the US yet, and I hear it won't be released in North America till the fall. So that means the Pan America is going to have a chance to strut around for a little bit before the new model of KTM hits in this market at least. Now back to Harley-Davidson. We did get a small teaser during the Pan America launch about the custom 1250. Here's that clip.
This is a new genre for Harley-Davidson. We plan to build upon this platform going forward. A product that's coming out very soon, the 1250 Custom Cruiser. It's got a fistful of torque and power, just like the Pan America.
Well, these are definitely new images to me. I've not seen these before, but I think this bike is looking ready for prime time. And I must say, the black paint scheme appeals to me a lot more than the white did. I know a lot of people are really getting interested in this bike. We still don't know when Harley-Davidson is going to launch this bike, but based on the Pan America being launched in February and being available in May, I'm hoping that they'll announce the details on this bike the next few months so that it'll be available in dealers by this summer at least. After learning more about the Pan America's design and how the engine is a stressed member to the frame, and how the frame is 3 sections bolted to the engine, you have to look at this bike and wonder if they'll do the same design on the custom 1250. I am sure this beast will have the same 150 horsepower and 6-speed transmission, but will it have the same torque since it is designed for a different style of riding? Triumph announced new models to the Bonneville family this week, but the Scramblers are not getting any love until April of this year, so we won't be talking about those beauties today.
Okay, so what's new for 2021 then?
Well, with the engine, the performance has been enhanced, making it more responsive with a reduction in mass and inertia. Now this means that the engine picks up quicker and feels much sharper. We also have cleaner and lower emissions that exceed Euro 5 requirements. And regarding the handling, this has been significantly enhanced thanks to a 7-kilo weight saving. And critically, we've got all new lightweight aluminium wheel rims and engine components, which have lowered the inertia. And that therefore makes the bike significantly more agile and dynamic to ride. Now for extra stopping power, We've got new higher spec twin Brembo front brakes, which give you an improved performance and feel. And we also have higher specification technology with cruise control now fitted as standard. And we've got enhanced riding modes, which now adjust the throttle map and the traction control settings.
The T100 got some extra love in the engine department as well.
Okay, so what specifically has the new T100 got?
Okay, well, if we start with the engine, this has been evolved and updated, making it fully Euro 5 compliant with lower emissions for 2021. Better still, we've got a step up in performance with 10 PS more peak power than its predecessor, making 65 PS at 7,400 RPM, which combined with its really strong mid-range torque is something that you'll really value. It's also more responsive with a reduction in inertia and a 500 RPM higher red line.
After I get a chance to really pour into the information, I'm thinking I'll do a full video on this line as well. So watch for that in the future if you're really interested in my take on the new Triumph Bonneville Family. Well, that's it for this week's news.